everybody turns to look.
Yeah. Well, there was screaming involved.
Yeah.
Cute. Oh, man. Oh, humans.
Where'd it? Oh, hold on. I was like, where is it? There it is. I had to switch.
Yeah, Condo went on the market yesterday.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Finally.
I'm just gonna buy lotto tickets.
Yeah, from now on.
Yeah, no, for all the money that the condo brings in, I'm just gonna buy a lotto
And then
and be poor again. Win like three $2. No, three $2 winners.
Yeah. Oh.
Welcome, everyone, to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing.
Yes.
Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members-only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
Golf claps about.
Oh, yeah.
Well, welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
It's coming to you from the I Am Renton
yes.
space here
Thank you,
in
Jeffrey.
beautiful and historic
Yes, downtown. Yep, downtown.
or downtown Renton.
I don't know what happened last week, but I apologize
Historic.
for the sound.
Getting a little ASMR in there. Boys, tonight's safe word is Whitechapel. So if you're not feeling safe, just yell out Whitechapel. It's because I found a little story which I thought was fascinating as somebody that enjoys reading about and historical serial killers.
Oh, geez, yeah, the Whitechapel murder.
The Whitechapel murders of Jack the Ripper. It turns out
here we go.
that Gandhi was in London during the
I
3
heard he was trying
years
to catch it.
that Jack the Ripper was active.
It was secret agent Gandhi.
He was over there from 1888 to 1891, and that's the same 3-year period that Jack the Ripper was active, and it stopped after Gandhi left and went back.
Oh,
I don't know if he went back to India. So one cannot rule out Gandhi
so good. I guess
as
you're right.
Jack the
Yeah.
Ripper. He
No,
can't be
yeah,
ruled
yeah.
out until they figure out
No,
his...
that's how probability works. Honestly.
You know,
Right? 'Cause it could have been a penguin.
It could have been a penguin.
In an alternate universe, it was him.
I think so.
man.
I think there needs to be a graphic novel or something with Gandhi.
Well, I
mean-
really like Gandhi.
I do too.
there-
I
I'm not
know.
gonna do that.
I know.
There's an animated Batman movie called Batman by Gaslight, I
Yes.
Yeah, Gotham by gas.
think. Gotham by Gaslight. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I totally
that's
thought I
big
knew who it was, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so and so, and I'm like, and it wasn't at all who I thought it was gonna be.
That was really well done.
Yeah.
It was really well done. So if you boys are not feeling safe, just yell out Whitechapel. And we'll
Whitechapel.
stop this here program.
Yeah,
Boys,
last time was War Elephant. It's a lot of syllables.
War Elephants. I know.
Or is it White Chappelle?
It could be Whitechapel.
Yeah, Whitechapel.
Depending on what part of the country you come from.
And just try on a new voice. It's our responsibility
It's nice.
to figure out what the fuck you're saying.
Sometimes it's
people.
nice to
Yeah.
kind of just enunciate differently.
Oh,
right?
sure. No.
Yeah.
We do radio
Chappelle.
drama.
Right, Chappelle. Make it up as you go along. Boys, special occasion today. Well, it's not today, I don't think, but somebody's birthday is right around the corner.
This coming Saturday.
Well, so when you guys are watching this, it'll actually have been last Saturday.
Yeah.
But happy birthday, Mr. Todd. Glad to see that you're 25 again. I didn't go all out because I just didn't have time, but I did find you a little something at a store that I think you'll enjoy. It's Star Wars related.
Oh.
So go ahead and
Everybody
flip
can see this before
It's
I
up
do.
to- There you go. There you go. That's the right way.
Oh my God.
Oh, good.
I think it's a local artist. He signed it in the bottom, and there's a little card in there that tells you.
Gallery.
Yeah, it tells you all about it. He's got a whole bunch of different ones.
I mean,
Pinkies up, bro.
You,
Pinkies up.
you know that Vader is all about the tea parties, man.
Yeah. What's the artist's name again?
It says on the back here, Kyle's Gallery.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I think it's kylesgallery.com or something like that.
Yeah,
Go check it
kylesgallery.com.
out. He's got a lot of fun ones.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got some other cool ones
Vader's
too.
cool as fuck.
I'm gonna have to get
Vader's I mean, he's the apex villain of our age.
So, do we sing Happy Birthday to Todd?
Geez, I'm
You
totally-
can.
Yes.
shucks.
On
Todd.
a 1 and a 2 and Happy birthday, dear Todd. Sing along, everybody.
birthday
To you. Happy birthday, dear Todd. Happy birthday to you.
I really do appreciate that, guys.
Yeah.
I was not planning on doing anything for my birthday other than maybe watching Star Wars.
Oh, nice.
I was gonna just get up, hit play on the Plex server, and just let it play all day.
Episode 4 starts right after he leaves that vacation spot. He's pissed that he has to go back to work.
He gets called back to
"You want me
work."
get on that rebel ship right now?
They
think-
just stole the plans.
I think
They just
that-
stole the plans.
I think it's right after Padme dies. That one.
He's out having a little.
He went back out to the fields that they were frolicking in.
That's right.
yeah.
Right. Because they got married, right, in those little fields.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my
man.
God.
Well, happy birthday. Everybody, comment and wish Todd a happy
Yes.
birthday.
Yes, please.
We'd love to see it.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
And the fire department's
yeah.
sending you out some love, too.
On their way.
Good luck, guys. Hope
And
everybody's
I
all right.
apologize for last week's audio not being.
We don't know what it was.
I just assumed it had something to do with the
Well,
board.
I don't know because in the video it looks like it's plugged in, and over there I know it was plugged
Holy
in. So.
shit, man!
That's pretty cool. Is that 58?
I couldn't tell
Hey,
you.
Todd, there's your real birthday present.
Oh,
Don't get his hopes up, 'cause
Man,
I
don't
got
do
that
that
kind
to
of
me.
money. Geez, boys, you want to jump
Someday.
into some headlines?
headline.
Man, it has been a crazy fucking news week
it's
because
quickening.
there's like here's the big story of the week, and then all of a sudden it's not the big story of the week.
Yeah, no,
right?
every
It was
minute.
it was in the news cycle for what 30 seconds, and then something else pops up.
Yes. So what are we talking about? Well, Trump Assassination Part 2, the sequel.
Something, yeah.
But the funny thing, and not funny because it's never funny,
Yeah,
but
no,
the
it's-
guy probably didn't break any laws.
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to. That's why he's getting
Except-
charged for gun laws.
Yes, except for he wasn't allowed to have a gun.
Gun laws.
But in Florida, you can carry around a long rifle.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing
he's
is,
a felon.
He might be trespassing
He
and-
was
yeah.
in unlawful
you could
possession
say
of a firearm.
funny, strange, not funny, haha.
Yeah, funny,
He got
strange.
an explosives charge back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And he
A
locked
felonious
himself into
explosive
business
charge.
or something and was like holding
Yeah.
people hostage or some shit.
I didn't know anything about that.
I saw so many people say they fully expected the person trying to assassinate him the second time being a Swiftie because it happened. It happened after.
Yeah,
it happened.
what if she went total like Sith?
It happened after he said, "I hate Taylor Swift" on Truth Social.
Yeah, I thought
And it
about
just-
that today, and that is a real thing. That really happened.
yes.
He spent brain calories
to type out
to
in
make
all
it
caps.
say yes.
In all caps.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
It's nuts, and he's like 79 years old,
Yes.
right? Not
Yeah.
the demographic
Yes.
of a Taylor
I mean,
Swift. But did you know that Gen Z is the largest potential voting bloc?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the United
Yeah,
States.
yeah.
40 million
And
Americans.
both Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift have come out, and I think Beyonce and all those
Yeah.
are always on record as supporting.
Well,
Yeah, we should get Billie Eilish on the show.
I would love
Taylor
it.
Swift actually responded about his. Do you call them tweets? What do you call those?
The truther, the Truth Social.
Yeah.
Post or whatever.
Oh,
Some
But she posted a song, and talking basically about his post, and I don't know if it was like pre-recorded
yeah.
or if it was just it lined up
It's
nicely.
smart though on his campaign's part, because then if she does mention him by name, that's hundreds of millions
Yes.
of guaranteed views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's part of the campaign thing, I kind of get that. If it's him just being mad at her for some not real reason, she's not doing anything a citizen shouldn't do.
No.
Right? It's like.
But I'm watching the news, and I
we
can't
shouldn't give
remember
them, yeah.
who it was last night, but they were absolutely right. right. Either last night or the night before, Trump is campaigning in Long Island, New York, where Long Island, New York might be a hotbed of Trumpism, but New York State's not going to vote for Trump. So why is he campaigning in fucking New York State? Why not in Pennsylvania? Why not in Georgia?
Making contacts. Yeah, I would say spending time in, I would say Michigan for that guy.
Michigan?
Yeah, he should try to win Michigan.
That's a
really
big
hard.
one for him.
Yeah.
And that's part of the Rust Belt that the Democrats need. And
100%.
Again, Harris is no super
we
prize.
the third path Democrats, right?
Yeah.
They were the corporate sellout Democrats, and they stepped away from being actual progressivism and actual populism, not the fake pseudo, feudalism that masks itself as populism.
Yeah. But that guy, he had a rifle.
Like that, America.
Had a rifle through the fence, and then
AK model,
and then the Secret Service because Trump was moving up to the next, and it's shit, right? Nobody should. And
he shouldn't be on a golf course.
Well, it should be massively protected. I hate to say it, and I don't like the guy. But he's got a 50% chance of winning right now.
He does.
As being the next president.
I don't want J.D. Vance to be our president, dude.
No,
I'm telling you.
God,
so that's a consideration that's not being talked about. And we got to make the House work.
Yeah.
Right. The House of Representatives is not functioning.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, and it's just borderline criminal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So would you say
it takes to do that?
So would you say this guy really? It wasn't an assassination attempt. It was more a assassination attempt concept, or a concept of an assassination attempt.
Concept of a plan.
It is a concept of a plan that.
He was squatting. He was determined, and he might be a meth head or something. Maybe he's on drugs.
I don't think he's playing with the full deck.
What's really weird is he is a Trump supporter.
I don't know.
There's videos of him talking about before he did this even. He's pro-Trump and all this other things, and his social media has him wearing Trump gear.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was a little different. I thought it was he was more. I think he said he voted for Trump in 2016, but then changed his mind
when he fell in line with Putin. I think this guy's a Putin hater.
Yeah. Because he went to Ukraine.
Yeah.
This guy went to Ukraine.
He didn't get why and I have people who did too, right? It's like, and they weren't wrong. It's just like, I don't know if I want to shoot people in the name of somebody else's country necessarily, but I get it. And Russia is, terribly aggressive and dangerous.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
yeah.
But what about? It's like, fuck off. Russia's a pariah state.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, but they happen to be sitting on vast quantities of oil, so everybody's like, okay.
Oil and nuclear weapons.
More than 20% of the world's fresh water.
Yeah.
I think is in one lake.
Is that all
and
there?
And then the rest of it is spread about the country.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow,
No, they have
crazy.
vast resources.
So wait, you said they have nukes? I thought they
got thousands of nukes.
I thought they got rid of all that because of.
No, we don't know if they work or not. Right?
Well, but they have them.
They have them. They sure
so you got to play it. You got to play it close to the vest.
Yes, and if just like with Saddam Hussein, holding all these disparate groups together, sometimes when they're all psychos, you have to be the super psycho. You know what I mean?
It's a good
So
point.
Putin's the fucking
That's a
super
good
psycho.
point.
Because, it's a vast empire, right? So they all have to be afraid of him.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
Including the billionaires and the billionaire Russian gangsters.
Right.
They're scared of Putin. Fuck.
Yeah.
And he makes sure they get what they want.
And he always wins by 72% or something, right? Isn't he one like the North Korea guy? He always wins by 86% or some crazy thing like that.
And the 14% disappear the next day and shit. It's like, they just want to, scoot some guys off the
we just need to thin the population out a little bit. No, I don't want to be one of the 14%. My God. I did see, and this is kind of off topic, it's kind of same topic, but I did see some interesting analysis last night. I don't remember who it was from, but talking about the laws that are like, especially in Georgia, like the election panel in Georgia is trying to change all these rules, right?
Yes.
And even Brad Raffensperger,
Yeah.
who is the Secretary of State
Yeah.
of Georgia, is like,
Yeah, he has a line.
stop doing this,
Yeah.
right? It's too close to be changing all these rules, too close to the election to change all these rules and all
Where
this stuff.
they can say, no, we don't want to certify these. We
Right,
don't
so
want to ratify
that's
these.
the thought, is
We don't
Trump
want to do our
doesn't
job.
need to win the popular, he doesn't need to even win the Electoral College if he has 2 or 3 states that are controlled by Republican,
They're not, yeah, or whatever they are.
that they can just
Yeah.
refuse to
Yeah,
certify.
Yeah. If
And
Trump
then,
doesn't win, they can say nobody won.
right, and
Yeah.
then it goes to the House of Representatives, which is controlled by Republicans, or it goes to the Supreme Court, right?
Yeah.
And then boom,
I don't
dictator for life,
Potentially.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
Because he'll get, he's not going to last much longer anyway, right?
No.
So it's like, but
That'll
then
be
Vance
JD
is
Vance.
young, man.
Yeah.
Vance is young
Yeah.
and has shown us he has no personal integrity.
No.
He will do whatever
No.
the powers that are pushing him along will have him do.
So do you
right? He's
think-
just a lying sack of shit.
Do you guys think that these assassination attempts are trying to get people to like sympathize with him for some reason, or?
Well, there was a lot of memes and political cartoons where Trump's like, "Great job, how are my poll numbers?"
and
getting that
if
sympathy.
this had happened to Joe Biden, you had better believe there'd be it's a false
Red
flag.
flag, yeah,
It's
false
a
flag,
false
yeah.
flag.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
isn't that what happened
I
with
don't know.
Reagan
It's because there's-
after he got shot?
There's
Everybody.
billions
his popularity
and billions
went
and
up.
billions
Yeah.
of guns on this planet,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of fucking just
Nut jobs.
just nutty enough
Yeah.
to run with it,
Yeah.
given the chance.
Yeah.
And being on a golf course is dangerous because it's. You know what I mean? It's like
Yes.
it's
wide open.
hundreds of yards because they're all rifles. They'll
Wide
do
open.
1,000 meters, no
Yeah.
problem.
I
no problem.
I
right?
had a
It's
great
like-
idea for a meme.
And it was a last minute thing, and their job is just that close knit protection.
Yes.
Like getting stabbed
If he
instead
was
of hit.
president, they would have had the
Yeah.
whole golf course
yeah.
closed and surrounded and all
a
that
lot
stuff.
of that stuff is the local police.
Yeah.
That's why you don't go to a fucking golf course.
Yeah.
So I
Right?
think
you
we
go to
should
an easily maintainable space.
take screenshots from Caddyshack 2 with Dan Aykroyd as the.
Oh, didn't he have a?
He had a crossbow, I think.
That's right.
And he was trying to get the gopher.
The gopher. Just
And
make
then-
Trump as the gopher.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh my God. And that wasn't even like the biggest news story to me was the
It's
pagers.
Huge. It's huge. Yeah, well, that's a whole nother
And the radio.
Just the fact that pagers can be used, which means phones.
This is
any
like
of the
a
above
fucking.
could be used.
This
as
is like a fucking James Bond.
Yeah. Act of terror. is
Genius
what it is.
evil plan.
I know.
It was like
is.
what when they started reporting on it. I was like, what in the fuck is going on?
Because are you really able to precisely control who gets that signal?
That's what I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did Hezbollah order a case of
I think they
pagers,
did, yeah.
and then
yeah.
Mossad intercepted them and planted all
Yeah,
these
I don't-
bombs,
how?
and then gave it to
No
them, and they're
way.
like,
How?
"Oh, here's your pagers."
Yeah.
I mean, if we've seen this kind of thing in movies over the decades, man, where they would
That's
just
what I'm saying. It's like a James Bond evil
Yeah.
genius.
you attach a piece of C4 or whatever to a cell phone or
Yeah,
whatever.
like an extra ounce.
Yes.
Huh.
And all
I don't even know how that
all it
works.
needs is
That-
power to come to like a signal receiver thing, and then the receiver ignites the
Yeah,
explosion.
so they supposedly they dialed in a special number or something, and it sat there and vibrated for a long time, and then when they went to switch it off, is what I'm hearing. That's what triggered the bomb. And it was at a certain time of day, and it happened all at once.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, too, is Hezbollah decided not to use cell phones anymore because they didn't want to
Yeah.
be tracked, and
If they thought Mossad found a way through them.
they could
Yeah,
do like
yeah.
fucking missile right into the, if they're using their phone. Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
Send a cruise
I
missile,
thought they had
right?
space lasers.
Space, whatever. I mean, they're
Sharks
whatever.
with lasers on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So not only do you take away their cell phones by this, right? Then you give them another means of communication, which is the pagers, and you not only kill and wound a bunch of them, but now they're like communication dead.
Yeah. No walkie talkies.
And then 2 days later, they're at a funeral with walkie talkies, and those blow up.
Yeah.
They're like never going to touch technology again.
Yeah, jeez.
I don't. It's just. I mean, it's
That's actually
mad
kind of
genius
funny.
shit.
It is, but still,
It's Dr. Evil
it's like,
type shit.
I don't know, and unless let's say they had a list of bad guys, just for argument's sake, right? And they got 99.9% of them, and only a small percentage of non-targeted people, right? Innocents, they call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
It's a trip, but that's better than dropping a bomb on a.
Well, it doesn't.
I
It
don't
didn't.
know,
I
it's a
saw some
trip.
of them blow up. Like
And
there was.
Hezbollah's a group,
Right.
That's not a religious order.
No.
It's like they're a an
But haven't they
armed
been-
militant group? They're
They've
not a
been
government.
designated as a
Yeah.
terrorist organization,
Yes,
right?
they're not a government. They're not playing by the same
No.
rules. You know who an IDF is,
Yeah.
right? You know who a U.S. Army guy is, right?
the
It's like-
other thing I was going to say is it's actually in the game Grand Theft Auto 5 where someone uses a cell phone as a detonator or a bomb of some sort.
I never heard of it. I never thought of it.
And legitimately, this is one of the first things you do in that game.
Oh,
you have
it's
to,
scary, dude.
you have to install some software into the phone, and then when he gets the phone call and he answers it,
blows.
it blows up and basically takes his head off.
Yeah. This was months in the making, right?
Oh, it's-
to make this happen.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there's some guy there.
Somebody got a
that's-
promotion out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like did the
still, it's like-
and then the
yeah.
radios. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
they did the radios too? It's like, man.
That's chess.
That's
That's,
serious chess.
I mean,
and I'm not,
I
condoning it
know, I
at
know.
all. I'm
it
just
is-
thinking it's mad genius.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's something out of a James Bond film
Yeah,
for sure.
but Hezbollah agents have been firing indiscriminate fucking
Yes.
rockets, et cetera, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, for a long fucking time,
Yeah.
dude. So
Yeah.
those are also, right?
Yeah.
They're much more randomized.
And then the leader of Hezbollah goes out to make a speech afterwards, and then they shoot artillery and cruise missiles at his ass.
I actually that
Oh, man.
reminds
I knew they
me.
flew planes over.
That
I
reminds
think
me of a story I read last year about how they were making small drones that carry
Oh, I don't know. Little
explosives.
suicide drones? Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, like
2 ounces
they,
or whatever.
They,
some
they,
shrapnel.
they,
Somebody's
they
gonna
look
do
like
it.
a locust or
Oh,
something.
humans. Yeah.
And
Oh.
and you see it coming, and you think it's just a bug or whatever. And once it gets close enough, it explodes.
Till it lands on the back of your neck.
Well, if it's doing 25 miles an hour up until it just goes zoop right next to you, you're not getting out of there.
And if it's light enough, a small battery to get it there.
I need Dr. Doom armor.
Right?
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's the only answer.
Either Doctor Doom or Iron Man armor, which is
Iron
essentially.
Man armor's cool too,
Yeah.
actually. But
Man.
I mean-
the older I get, the more I sympathize with Dr. Doom, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, hey! These people are just dumb.
Oh man. Yeah, just nuts. That whole story is just nuts, and obviously everybody wants peace in that region, and I don't know how to
No, and
achieve it,
bombing
but it's just
bombing is a
massive.
yes, no, it's just the exclamation point on
Yeah.
failure.
My
on failure
God.
of our humanity every single time.
yeah, absolutely.
Every single time. It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
it's
Oh
awful.
man.
Every shot
It's
fired.
awful.
Yeah. Boys, in kind of more political news, this was kind of interesting, but Eddie Grant gonna walk down to
Oh, yeah, it's a great song.
Electric
I still
Avenue.
revisit it once in a while. Sure.
Trump has just lost the lawsuit that Eddie Grant started because Trump used that in a campaign tweet. Like years ago, and it went to court. And first, Trump's lawyers said no, they had every right to use it because they paid the whatever, and that turned out to be not true. And then they said, oh, the guy doesn't even have copyright on it. Well, the court found that he does have copyright on a compilation album or something, and the song was on there. So like, nope, he's got copyright. So now it's just down to the damages. So Eddie Grant they can agree, and they can say we'll give you $100,000 or we'll give you whatever, or they can take it in front of a jury, and the jury gets to decide what the damages are. So,
Right.
but it's interesting that this has been going on for so long. But folks out there, whatever political spectrum you are, if you don't like Trump or Harris or anybody using your music, if you're an artist and you disagree with what somebody's using your music for, stand up for yourself, man.
Absolutely,
And
man.
copyright your shit.
And copyright your shit.
Copyright stuff. It's not that expensive. It's not that
Yes.
hard. Yeah. And it's just a better idea.
And do it before you sign that contract with the record company.
Or even put it out. You know what I mean? Out.
Yeah, have it out.
I mean, at the very least, whoever has the copyright should be the one
Unless you
going,
don't mind.
fuck that.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Because somebody else could could just turn it into something that you don't like. Right?
Yeah. Man, well, speaking of, I don't know what, the Fed just cut rates.
Half a point?
Half a point.
That's a big deal.
First time in 4 years, which is great news for, I think, the economy, but it also shows that the economy has some strength. There was a bunch of conservative commentators that came out and said, they shouldn't have done this too close to the election because it'll make Biden look good or make Harris look good, right? Or they should have only cut it.
But by not doing it,
Cut it a quarter now and then a quarter after the election, which is all just crap, right?
And I think Jerome Powell is apolitical.
Yes.
He's not into it. That's
I
not
don't
his
think
thing
he
at
is at all.
Not at all.
No.
And they are. I mean, love or hate him. There's a million different reasons to want to not have a Fed or whatever, but these guys in particular, no. They're not.
I don't think so.
Putting their thumb on the scale.
Yeah.
They're not at all. And because everybody's like, and so where's this recession? Biggest recession of all time? Nonsense. Didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
It really was that soft landing.
Yeah.
And I know shit's expensive. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fucking poor person.
Yeah.
Right? But so I understand that.
We're still paying higher prices than we did
And we
just a few years
we
ago.
don't have an economy that works for the
Everybody.
majority of Americans.
Yes.
And we're watching the dismantling, have watched the dismantling of the middle class.
Yes.
But all of that is true.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guarantee you, these fake populists are not really in it to help you with.
No, they don't give a shit about
I promise.
Yeah.
At least with the Democrats, you can kind of squeeze them towards social good sometimes.
Even
right?
Trump came out today and said, or yesterday, and said he wants to repeal the salt tax cut. Reinstate it because it makes him look good to middle class again. And he did it because he was trying to punish blue states, but it's basically states that tax you for income and sales tax. It's sales tax.
Oh, exemption.
Exemption.
Yeah.
So there used to be an exemption where you could write off your sales tax or your local state income tax. You could write it off and then get a tax break from the federal government. Well, his big tax cut a few years ago took that away and didn't allow you to do it. Now he's saying, I want to give it back. I want to put it back out there because he wants to make it look like he's trying to help the middle class. But then all the economists are going, well, if you just cut that and do nothing else, you're gonna balloon the deficit again.
Or guarantee austerity measures.
Yeah.
Where they're like, we just can't afford Medicare.
Yeah.
Even though it's
Exactly.
a pretty fucking efficient system.
And it's not even tax dollars. Everybody pays it separate.
I know.
Everybody pays into it.
Yeah. But
Did you guys hear about the movie that's being made about Trump?
It's been made with Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
It came out in the spring. They went to Cannes.
Yeah, they did a Kickstarter. They did a Kickstarter for it, and it got funded.
Oh, they did, because I knew that they were having a hard time finding distribution for it because the thought was everybody was a little afraid to touch it.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't want to put a bunch of money into it, try to get it out there. But when's it come out?
Chris told me about it yesterday, and he didn't have like any kind of release date. It's funded by Kickstarter, and I think if anything, they're going to just put it on Amazon or one of the other streams.
Oh, that makes sense. So Sebastian Stan, Winter Soldier himself, plays Trump in the '80s, and he's getting mentored by
Roy Khan.
Yes, and it's all about the mentor relationship.
Roy,
I don't remember.
I saw the trailer for it. And he looks just like Trump did back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Crazy. And
Stone. Roger Stone's been in this a long time, too.
That's true. Yeah.
I absolutely want to see this.
George Soros! What the fuck? How about the Mercers? How about
I don't like Soros or anybody injecting that much money into politics, right? Take it all away.
Well, I heard that, he takes every single frog and brings them to nightclubs, and that's how they turn gay.
What?
George Soros made the frogs gay.
Oh, you're doing that guy. Okay. Making the frogs gay. Have you heard the remix of that?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And oh man.
Infowars. What's his face?
Alex Jones.
Jones, right?
Is it? Is reason and logic are they going to win in the end?
I don't know.
Or are we
I don't know. Are we doomed? Are we totally doomed? Is that what you're saying?
I heard about it the other day.
Are we going back into the dark ages?
We've barely not been in the depth of the dark ages, right? The age of reason is a tiny blip in history. A bleep-boop-bleep-boop-bloop-boop blip. The age of reason? Are you shitting me? They were burning motherfuckers at the stake in America. You know what I mean? Not that long ago.
I think they were crushed by rocks. I don't think anybody got burned at the stake. I think that's it. But they still got crushed by rocks.
Or they were drowned.
Drowned by water.
The whole
what floats on water?
I think the burning at the stake thing was over in Europe.
Yeah. I mean, we're still waterboarding people today, right? Yeah. I would assume.
Well, not our town podcast.
No, not us.
Oh, yeah.
Not us.
No.
We don't. It's extra. If you want to pay us to waterboard you, we might. That sounds pretty.
I don't know. I'm not going to kink shame somebody. How much? $20 is $20, bro.
I mean, you have to
$20 in a cheeseburger.
We're gonna have to make you sign a waiver so we're not responsible for any long-term effects.
Oh my God! Speaking of kink shaming, Sean Diddy Combs, 54-year-old Sean Diddy Combs, got arrested on Monday night.
Yeah, geez, I don't know anything about that guy at all. Nothing.
You know what's really funny is in the last month or so, I've been anytime I was going into the VR world and go into a room full. If you go into any world that has a bunch of little kids and they see an adult show up and say, hey, "Are you here for the Diddy party?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you even talking about? I don't know what that means."
I think they're like.
Is it one of his
ancient Roman
freak out session?
Yeah.
What do they call it?
So they were referring to his parties and how he would have young
to freak out. I was like trying to figure out what the fuck he was arrested on. It was a sealed indictment for the Southern District of New York and stuff like that. But it's come out that during his arrest, they found ecstasy and a bunch of other drugs in his hotel room.
1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Fucking lube. 1,000 bottles of lube plus AR-15.
Well, maybe he got that during the pandemic, just in case there's a shortage.
They found a bunch of AR-15s with the serial numbers removed.
You can all use some moisturizing, you know. No, they found weapons that were obviously illegal or whatever. It's like, I don't know if you can have those type of guns in New York, right?
I don't know.
New York City, where's he at?
Probably, Southern District in New York is like.
I think he is in New York. Yeah.
But I don't know what they went there for. They didn't go there for guns.
No.
They just found him.
My understanding is that he's been accused of intimidating witnesses, used his power and wealth to coerce women.
Vote or die, motherfucker. Vote or die.
Coerce women into his orbit and then use force threats and coercion to force them into sex acts.
What's the charge, though, do you know?
Sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, and arson. I don't know what he arsoned, but also other crimes that they just
caught somebody's stuff on fire.
Yes, I don't know, man. It's just fucking nuts.
Well, geez, beats me.
Do either of you remember that voting campaign that he did?
Yeah.
Vote or die. They made
was that him or was that?
No,
that was him.
That was him. Yeah.
I was thinking that was Yee, but
no, that was Diddy. And what's really funny is the best thing about that was South Park made fun of it, and it was. The whole it was that episode where the kids had to vote on a new mascot for their school because the mascot was inappropriate or it was, whatever. So they had to choose between a giant douche and a turd sandwich.
Nice.
And Kyle was like, or Stan was like, I'm not voting for either one because both of them are fucking stupid. And Diddy shows up and like, vote or die, motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think fame and wealth and all that shit went to his head.
Well, hopefully he gets a fair. Yeah, I mean, he's got money for lawyers, so that's the best we can hope for.
Yeah.
Was he Illuminati or is he just Illuminati adjacent?
I don't know, 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil. 1,000 bottles of lube.
The big question
How
is,
big
did
are the
anybody
bottles,
get-
though? Are they airplane bottles or are they Costco-sized
Oh
bottles?
my God! Well, is any of it on film? That's the only question that matters. If there's mass celebrities going in there, and/or government people, and/or who knows, who,
Yeah.
right? It's like, I don't know.
Oh my
He
God.
could have a lot of leverage.
Yeah.
So, right? It's like,
Yeah.
plus, I think he's very wealthy.
I think
So,
he's mass
yeah.
money, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that-
yeah.
that should help.
I don't know if he's quite a billionaire, but I know he's got hundreds of millions.
Yeah, he can afford the best legal teams on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, OJ had nowhere near his wealth.
The relative wealth, no way. No, we're not
Even if you-
close.
yeah,
Not
even if you
close.
do the
Not even-
adjustments
he was
for-
doing a Naked Gun movie. You know what I mean? That's like $300.
And Hertz commercials and shit.
Yeah, that was early.
Yeah. No, he was a lot more wealth than the three of us combined, OJ,
No, I
but
think he did.
he
He's a
afforded
very
the big
wealthy
old.
person.
Yeah. Combs is like.
Well, plus there was that was a great launching pad for any law team, right? Because it was
Yeah.
the most publicized event.
yeah. He gave us
know?
Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians, right?
It did.
Because her dad was one of the legal team.
yeah.
Yeah. So he got some notoriety from that.
Oh, we're talking about Kim's dad and OJ.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Jeez. All
I'm
right.
much more mad at celebrities since I'm not one.
Not yet.
We do have about 10,000 followers on the Facebook.
Do we do?
But
Yes.
that's Todd. Todd
Almost
has
11.
9,900.
Almost 11.
Oh, man.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
A couple more weeks, we'll get to 11.
Yeah.
Now we need to focus over on the Instagrams.
Every girl crazy about a sharp dress. My personal hygiene isn't to where I would be invited to a giant sex party. People are like, he's cool even on the bus. It's okay, but that's
I feel like
as close as we're getting with.
I feel like I'd get invited, and then once I got there, be like, okay, here's some towels. Just wander around and.
hand out the lemon.
No, it'd be like, no, pizza deliveries in the back door, man.
the lemon scented handy wipes.
Sir, madame.
Can I interest you in a lemon scented handy wipe?
Wasn't that in one of Eddie Murphy's movies where he shows up at a place and he's wearing the same color clothing as like the servers and stuff, and they thought he was like a.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I remember seeing it somewhere. And I thought,
Oh my God. We all need a shower after talking about this Diddy story. So,
Oh, man.
moving on, boys. We talked about the passing of the great James Earl Jones last week, and I think Todd mentioned something about how much money he made for Star Wars.
It was like $6,000 for like his.
7 is what the news reported, but I didn't know this. His role only took 2.5 hours to record.
Yeah.
For the first movie, he got paid $7,000 for 2.5 hours, which I'd take that all day long.
In episode 4, he doesn't have that many lines. Right?
No.
Not really.
No, not at all.
Not really. I mean, most of it's the.
And that's not even him. That's the sound
That's what
design.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Sound design guy.
Oh,
on a
it's so
repeater recorded
good.
it.
He was so
So good.
menacing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Have you seen the video footage of the lines being said by David Prowse?
No.
Big, tall Scottish guy.
Yeah.
You know, and you could hear him clear as day saying the lines, but it just didn't really. It didn't sound the same until you hear that James Earl Jones bassy voice
It's funny because Darth Vader had to be voiced by one actor, in the suit by
There's like
another
5 different
actor,
people.
breathing by another actor. When they finally removed the mask, a whole nother actor.
Yeah.
So there was the voice, there was the actor within the costume, then there was the stunt double, and then there was the guy who was the face of Anakin's older Anakin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Who was that guy?
Sebastian Shaw.
Oh, jeez, good call.
And he just had like the 5 minutes of.
He's like,
3 minutes
I
of-
wanted to see
And
you
then
with
they
my
even
real
faded him
eye.
out in the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And they edited him out.
that's right,
And replaced
yes.
him with
With Anakin.
Because Qui-Gon showed him how to do it in the afterlife
Yeah.
or something.
no. I
But
mean,
why come back as your younger self? Yoda and Obi-Wan didn't come back as their
Right,
younger
exactly. Why the fuck did
Yeah, it
See,
didn't make
that
any
never
sense.
made any sense to me. And
Oh, unless though.
Because that's when he was Anakin.
Yeah,
He came back as Anakin.
yeah.
not as Vader.
what it is
Because he
because
was Vader.
the prequels
different
came out
person.
and he was trying to. The thing is that George Lucas was trying to like make all these make the old movies fit within the new ones, and they didn't do a very good job of it. So he was, all right, well, we're gonna edit out these scenes and change a couple things and add something new that we didn't have before.
Have hand step on Jabba's tail.
Like, yeah, that was so bad.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that behind that scene back in the early '80s. My mom rented a reel-to-reel, and we watched the movie, and then we watched the behind the scenes and the making of. They showed the original footage was like some fat Irish or Scottish guy and wearing pelts with fur and stuff on him. And he's like. I was like, oh, that's a cool bad guy. And then you see the next movie, and that character is now a giant slug. I'm like, okay, what happened? What did he fall off the wagon and started eating more?
No, he went and had wine at Jim Henson's house. He's like 10 foot. He's got to be 5 feet high, 10 feet long.
And we're gonna have Leia in a golden bikini.
Oh yeah.
I really like where this is going.
I know what happened. I know what happened. Have you seen the movie Tusk? That's what happened to the guy.
They put him in the suit.
They put him in the suit.
They sewed him into it.
Yeah. They made him into a giant slug.
Oh my God. Well, boys, speaking of space, some science news, and I thought this was fascinating. The Voyager 1 that launched in 77.
Oh, it's incredible.
Is 12 or 15 billion miles away from Earth.
Well, they're space miles.
Space miles, but they're 15 billion miles away from
insane.
Earth. It's been past. I mean, they went past. What was it? They went past Jupiter in. Oh, I forget, but it was in the 80s, right?
Yeah, they're outside of even Pluto, right?
Yes.
They're outside of our whatever that's called.
Yes.
Yeah,
they're almost they're heading towards the ring, right?
They're still part of our solar system, right?
Yeah.
Because so's the Oort cloud and all that.
Right.
Way the fuck
That's
out
what I
there.
meant, yeah.
And I don't know if he can survive going through there.
Who knows?
Right? I really
but
don't
nobody
know.
ever thought that this thing was going to survive this long anyway. But I guess there's 3 separate sets of thrusters, and they need the thrusters to be able to maneuver the probe back so the antenna can point to Earth, so they can still communicate with it.
Sure.
So every once in a while they have to adjust the thrusters. Well, over the years, certain thrusters have clogged. Right, and they're like, oh, we need to switch to these thrusters, and now they just ended up turning on some thrusters that helped it when it launched. Way back in 70, they haven't been used since 77.
What?
And the fucking thrusters worked, and they were able to realign it to get the antenna to reposition
and
to Earth.
How long does it take for the message to get there and back?
I don't know.
Because it's
yeah.
93 million miles.
They're going to start sending carrier pigeons over.
That's insane.
To do it.
No, it's insane.
Well, it's just nuts. I think it's freaking awesome.
Well, I bet they were union workers that made that thing.
Yeah, maybe. With fucking abacuses and slide rules and stuff, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure some computer stuff. But
not that much. Jeez.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I just think it's fascinating.
Plus, that's the one with our nudes. When we sent our nudes up into space.
What?
Voyager, remember on the golden record?
Yeah.
So it's not just sound, it's got pictures that show a human, you know what I mean?
So if another alien species picks
they
it up.
don't wear clothes. Matt,
what is that disgusting thing?
Yeah. So
what do you suppose that's for?
And it's a map how to get back to us.
Jeez.
Which not everybody
Lead
was
them right
it's
to
a
it.
great idea? Putting a fucking map on this thing. Right?
I mean, if they're advanced enough to get to it,
Maybe,
I
but
guess.
There's a certain equation, and I can't remember what it is. But it's the chance that it's a benevolent species we'll run into is highly
Exponentially
limited.
better to. Limited.
It's tiny. More than likely, it's a predatory species that has the steps necessary to get off the planet and into the stars.
That's just what we need.
Yeah.
Let's shake things up a little bit.
Better at it than we are.
Independence
That's all
Day.
We need.
Yeah.
Bummer. Yeah, just like Independence Day.
What the fuck is that smell?
Man, I hope that Will Smith and Goldblum, what's it? Fuck, I can't even think.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum is still around.
Yeah.
to upload that computer virus.
Oh yeah, the computer virus that was written on a Mac. Yeah,
Like the bubble Mac?
because the Macs are compatible with alien computers.
Well, of course they are, right? Because Steve Jobs was an alien.
You know, I recently heard that sequence where he's dragging the dead alien body through the desert, and he goes, "And what the fuck is that smell?" That was ad-libbed.
Oh, nice.
What is that?
In Independence Day.
Oh, yeah.
And he's dragging that body, and he's like, "Yeah, welcome to fucking Earth, blah blah blah." And what the hell is that smell?
Jeez. Man.
Yeah.
Well, also speaking of space, Todd, I think you sent this to Mike and I, but the British sci-fi series Red Dwarf is coming out with yet another season.
Season 13, I think.
13 over 34 years.
The show started in 1988.
It's funny. So
Me and Marianne fell in love with that series immediately when we saw it on Channel 9.
Oh yeah.
And what's funny is me and my best friend of 30-something years, we had a huge nerd argument over Red Dwarf. There was an episode with it was called Despair Squid, and it was a great episode. And the argument was if it was a 2-part episode or if it was one episode that was split in half because of the marathon on Channel 9. Hey, we're showing you great stuff. You need to send us money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it was a single episode. They just cut in half so they could sell you crap to bring
They
more.
input their own commercial break.
Yeah.
Take a 1 hour
we
thing
argued
to 2
for
hours.
weeks about this. I'm like, no, it's a single episode. Each episode's like an hour long. That was 2 30-minute episodes if it was 2 separate episodes. Why would they do that? And she still to this day goes, I still think it was...
Well, there's something called Wikipedia.
Oh, now there is, yeah. But back then it was like, that argument happened in... early 90s. So it was before the internet became massive. Before the IMDb was even a thing.
So my understanding is they're going to start recording in October, and the series is going to come out. The season is going to come out in 2025.
And it's likely going to be like 6 episodes because that's the way they do it over there.
Yeah, and I think they're only like half-hour episodes now, right?
I haven't seen any of the newer ones. I actually have them. I just haven't watched them yet.
Yeah, it's a funny series. I haven't watched the whole series, but I've seen
the first 5 seasons were great, and then after that they start getting
Ace
old.
Rimmer is one of the best characters of all time.
Rimmer World, man.
Yeah,
oh my God, Rim.
Because he's the foil, and then he has...
Did you find out his letters after his name is because his swimming certificates?
Man.
Yeah. Swimming certificates.
Jeez. For bizarre news, boys, Steve-O of Jackass fame, he revealed a plan that he was going to get temporary breast implants for a gag. Because he's got some kind of touring thing, and he was going to record himself trying to hit on dudes but he was actually going to get breast implants. It's a major surgery.
That's a major surgery.
Well, so apparently he says that he was going to do this, and he was all set up, and about 10 hours before the surgery was going to take place, he found out that the anesthesiologist backed out because the guy found out that this is all a joke. He was going to do this as a stunt. And the anesthesiologist is like, I don't think you should do this for a stunt.
No, and anesthesia can kill a person.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
Although, Steve-O's a badass, but that's weird.
So then
not weird, but that's just a bad bet.
So then he was like, well, I'm going to have to reschedule this. And then he went into like a store where a transgender person was working and started talking to them about it, and finally realized that this is kind of a dumb idea. Right, because he's sort of making light of what those folks go through to become who they are. Right,
the whole person.
Right,
the danger they are presented with because people think it's an abomination or some other weird shit.
There's still tons of bigotry against them. There's still tons of vitriol, all that stuff. And he's like, okay, shit, maybe I didn't really think this through, and then finally decided that no, it's not a good idea that I do this.
And it's a major surgery.
Yes,
having elective surgery
and then pulling it back out
is that's some fucking.
It is Steve-O.
High level. That is.
But he did get a tattoo while riding in an H1 Hummer on an off-road track.
It's one of the greatest segments I can imagine. It's so good.
This is
With
also
Henry Rollins driving the Jeep.
Right. And this is also
good.
This is also the same guy who decided it was a great idea to launch bottle rockets from his anus.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's a top-notch entertainer. He really is.
Yeah. And he's the other thing I recently heard about him is he basically called out the Insane Clown Posse for not being real clowns, and they legitimately started. They had a beef, and they were like, "We're gonna kick his ass if we ever see him." And I guess he met up with them and talked to them, and just said, I was wrong. I'm sorry. And he goes, and wait, how do I become a juggalo? He's like, well, you got to get the Hatchet Man tattoo on you somewhere. And the reason why he wanted to do that is because he found out that the FBI sees the juggalos as a terrorist organization.
Or a gang or something. Or a gang, I think.
Yeah.
No, and he went to the festival or whatever.
Yeah, the Gathering of the Juggalos, yeah.
Yeah, he performed or whatever and was his own Steve-O self. I think that guy, he's fucking impressed me with his crazy antics.
It's weird to me that he's crazier now that he's sober.
Yeah. I could see it. Maybe he's not as paranoid to do stuff or something.
And I mean, he's, I guess, there's all sorts of crazy stuff to do, right? But he's raised the bar. That whole group, right?
Yeah.
He's still doing.
Remember Jim Rose?
Yes.
He's still alive.
Circus Sideshow.
Yeah. But same kind of thing. That sort of entertainment's gone on for a long time.
I think Jim Rose. They're not sticking bottle rockets up their butthole, but they're like fucking hooks into their jeez.
One of the other guys took a Hot Wheels or a Matchbox car and shoved it up his butt, and then went to the doctor saying, "Hey, I'm having pain."
Oh my god!
And he wants to have like an X-ray done.
So dumb.
It was dumb, but it was also very funny. The guy was like German, and he was like speaking to his assistant, who was his wife, in German. Like, this guy put a toy car in his butt. What the hell is wrong with him? He said it in German.
He's American. That's what's wrong with him.
He said it in German to his wife, and they subtitled it so we knew what he was saying. But it was, oh my god, that was so dumb, but it was funny.
Yeah, man. Well, way on the other side of the spectrum from Steve-O, Josh Gad, he plays, he does the voice of Olaf from the Disney Frozen, the snowman. He had some advice, which I believe is great advice for anybody wanting to be a voice actor. Right? Because he said that he ended up using his real voice to voice Olaf. So now wherever he goes, and he's in like Walmart in line, and he's talking to somebody, and the kids are like, that's Olaf. So he's like, if he could go back in time, he would totally do a different voice for Olaf rather than using his regular voice, because he keeps getting too recognized.
Oh man, that's the problem you want to have, Josh.
But
like Darth Vader.
First world problems, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, of all the voice actors out there are people who do many different voices, but the one that he's probably most well known for, Frank Welker, is known for doing all kinds of voices, but the voice he's most known for is the voice of Fred on Scooby-Doo, and that's his natural speaking.
That's handy if it does become your bread and butter job, right?
Yeah.
I better watch out for Son-da-don.
Son-da-don. Son-da-da-da-don. Son-diddly-doo.
Diddly-diddly-doo.
Yeah. It's because he's got Frozen 3 and Frozen 4 are currently in the works. There's no timeline on them yet, but which is weird because I remember my daughter, who's now 14, having a Frozen birthday party when she was tiny. And now we're still talking. It's like Toy Story started in '95 and went all the way to just a couple of years ago.
Generational.
And they're doing another one. They just announced it at D23 or whatever it's called. And
Do you guys remember Lorraine Newman?
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live alumnus. She is not a fan of the show The Bear, which Mike and I both watched and like a lot. Mostly because her daughter, whose name is Hannah Einbinder, I think is how you say it, she's on the show Hacks. And she was up for an Emmy Award, and it ended up being won by the gal that plays the not the sous chef, but the Hispanic lady. That Tina.
Yeah.
Ended up being won by her, which is awesome because she's does a great job, and she's the first Latina to ever win that award.
Was it for a comedic performance?
Yes, that is where that's what everybody's saying
except in the Greek tragic comedy sense of it, which is a thing.
Yeah,
right. Like a theater comedy has, somebody dying and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
it was won by Lisa Colon Zayas. I hope I'm saying that right. From The Bear. First Latina, and it's already won a ton of awards in the comedy thing. And I looked at the wife. I said, "Well, they kind of got a point because it's not really funny. There's funny moments,
but it's not a comedy.
But it's not one that you would sit and go, oh yeah, let's turn on that comedy. I need a comedy."
Modern, our society's definition of the word comedy.
Yeah.
You could flip.
So I kind of get it.
Fancy thesaurus.
I don't know why they do. Is it because it's half-hour episodes?
No, I have no idea.
No.
That it's trying to be like a sitcom, like what the sitcom would have been.
Do you apply to a certain category, or
I don't know. You put your show, like the producers put it in as a comedy, like we want to.
Our show comes out at midnight, so it's
I know
not considered a
I know that she still
daytime
she does a lot of voice acting now.
Who does? Lorraine Newman.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. I mean, geez, that's. I mean, I don't know what Lorraine was. That what she was mad about, or she just
because her daughter.
Could have won.
Could have won if that kind of thing. So she sent a tweet out that said "fuck the bear."
Well,
right?
That's dumb.
But I get her frustration.
Because it's the bear's fault.
But it's not the bear's fault. I don't know why they slide it into that category.
There's the rub.
Yeah.
Right. It's like
it's not the bear's fault. It's not her daughter's fault.
Yeah. And and everybody's entitled to their opinion. God bless Lorraine Newman. But
isn't there like a new category though? Isn't the whole comedy thing is like a new?
I don't know. I don't watch the Emmys.
I don't either
very often.
But it just
I sort of pay attention to who won, so I can go, oh, that show won a whole bunch of awards. I should check it out.
This sounds like the time where Metallica was up for an award and they lost to Jethro Tull.
That was for heavy metal, best metal album.
Jethro Tull.
I can't do a flute sound.
Yeah. But oh my God, so good.
I do like Jethro Tull.
I did too, but he's not metal.
Yeah.
But no, it's not.
I don't know. It's funny. Where I define metal, if you have love songs, you're not a metal band.
Yeah.
Like the Scorpions, God bless them. They fucking rock, but they have love songs, so they're not a metal band. They're a rock and roll band, like a hard rock.
Hard rock.
You know what I mean?
Hard rock.
Black Sabbath, that's metal.
Yeah.
They don't have like, my heart is broken. They don't.
Like Iron Maiden and all that stuff.
On that logic, would you say "Mama, I'm Coming Home" is not a metal song because it's
Mama, I'm Coming Home?
That's Ozzy.
That's Ozzy, though.
But
that's Ozzy. And Ozzy's Ozzy. He's his own thing.
But
It's different. Mama, I'm coming home. Oh my God,
dude! Seriously, but that's a love song, man. And he's a metal singer. And his band is metal.
It's him peering at his mortality, I think.
What's the one he did with Lita Ford?
Oh, Close My Eyes Forever. Yeah, that's another fucking love song.
No, that's about death.
Yeah.
So that qualifies, and I don't know. I said Sabbath.
I'm just saying that logic doesn't track.
I think it does.
No.
Speaking of metal, I didn't put this in the show notes.
My gate.
But it is I think it's like the major 50th. No, it's got to be more than that. 65th. I don't know. Anniversary of Iron Maiden, and they're going on tour right now. It's in the UK and parts of Europe, but they're saying they're going to do it up. They're going to put this huge, maybe they'll bring Eddie back with the thing, big stage show. They're going to do it up, and no U.S. dates as yet, but I'm hoping that it'll come here because I would.
Oh, they've delivered nonstop. They're one of the hardest working.
Who was it that just came? Was it they didn't just come here, did they? Who was it that was coming in?
Def Leppard was here recently. I think that was
it Priest or somebody that just came back?
I think it was Priest, yeah.
There's somebody coming up in a few weeks that I was going to get tickets, and it was like,
Yeah.
Shut it.
Yeah,
they're all cheering for us.
Yeah, when Dennis and Brenda. Mm-hmm. Dennis's daughter's band opened for.
Oh, I heard about this for Brett.
Oh, that was for Brett Michaels.
For Brett Michaels,
right.
At the Kent Snow show.
Priest. Yeah, I saw Priest at the show. I've seen Priest a number of times. But the latest time was at the show.
Brett Michaels is playing a lot of Poison stuff on it.
I'm sure he did. Yeah. Did you go to that show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Warrant, the Cherry Pie guys.
Dude, was that before?
Yeah, that was the middle band.
Janie died, or what's his name? Lane.
Janie Lane died in like early 2000s, I think.
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah. Jeez. Man.
But Priest was cool. I like Priest.
Yeah.
But Iron Maiden's the full show, man.
Yeah, I would totally do that.
Yeah,
you know who's coming to see to the Crocodile is Zepparella, which is an all-female tribute to Led Zeppelin.
Oh, nice.
And the Iron Maidens are coming.
They are amazing, too. I've seen them like 3
I feel
times.
like that's Corazon something.
Yeah, dude, I would absolutely see that.
Nice.
The Maidens.
Oh my God! Well, speaking of music, boys, have you heard what's going on with Jane's Addiction? Anybody a Jane's Addiction fan?
I saw a video, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the backstory of why he flipped out. It just said he flipped out.
Yeah, my understanding is that Perry Farrell, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't been up to snuff. Like the rest of the band, like Dave Navarro and Avery, I can't remember his first name, and the drummer Eric. Yeah, they're all doing really well, coming out playing, got their chops, but Perry's been struggling, is my understanding. He's been struggling with his vocals and all that stuff, and he just like welled up and lost it, and just couldn't do it, and he started blaming everybody else. They started a song too fast, and he lost his temper, and he went across the stage, and there's video of it, and
I saw the video.
Navarro's face.
We got in his face and started punching him. Yeah.
Navarro just looks like, what the fuck?
What are you doing?
And he actually does. You actually see him go.
Yeah. It's a drag. And you want to know how you conquer that? Because he's still like 65 years old.
Yeah.
You get 2 backing singers.
Right. Yeah.
Problem fucking
I mean,
solved.
that's what Vince Neil did.
That's what fucking masked people do. That's a time
Or just have a backing track or whatever it's called.
Sure. Perry doesn't want to have a backing track.
No.
I think he's far.
And they're doing small. They're not doing stadiums. They're doing.
Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons use backing tracks.
Yes. Yeah, I know. And so does. I mean, it's very. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I don't think Perry would do that. I really don't. I think he's too. He's too for the art kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised at that. I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't be mad about it.
So he had a meltdown because he felt like he was not doing well enough.
I think he was struggling, and he's probably got. I don't know this, and I'm not trying to say that he's got mental issues or whatever.
Oh, geez, yeah.
I'm not. I don't know, but I think he got so frustrated that he blew up, and I think the band started a song too quick or something, and he wasn't ready, and then he went off, and he probably saw Navarro.
And it's a tense situation.
Yeah.
Mass people staring at you. You've been out of practice for fucking decades.
I watched the video, but I didn't know what led to that point, because he was singing, and all of a sudden Navarro was coming in and doing like a solo and stuff. He was just shredding. He was doing great as far as I could tell. And you could just see like Perry just looking at him like, what the fuck? Yeah, motherfucker. And he was.
Bands are like marriage, man. And sometimes you have a good marriage, and sometimes you don't have a good marriage, and sometimes you're able to just sort of get along enough to make it work.
Yeah.
And sometimes shit just doesn't work.
This is also the first time the original lineup has been together in 20 20 years.
Yeah, something like that.
So that's probably it.
Yeah.
I bet. And performing is stressful.
Yes.
Right? It's like, that's why people self-medicate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially mass pressure after having not performed with these people in 20 years.
Who are you again?
And I don't know. And we I don't know. I mean, I get the idea of having reunion tours or whatever, because if anybody ever asked me to tour anywhere ever, I would.
You're in.
But, so I get it, right? And plus you can make money.
Yes.
Right? But, those guys can't.
Those.
Yeah, no, they were coming here with Love and Rockets.
Yeah.
Right? And I know people had already bought tickets and shit. It's But bummer, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he could have remedied that, but he probably got freaked out a little.
Yeah.
And
So Jane's Addiction, Gong Show 3 2025. We don't have a date yet, but we invite you to come down.
it would be awesome.
Yeah. You guys can fight, or you can play music, or you can play music and then fight. And we're all good for it.
Yeah.
100%.
We'll put the stage in the middle of a ring.
And Nothing Shocking is a
That's a great album.
It's a great fucking record.
Yeah, I just don't listen to it that often.
Is that the one that had being caught stealing?
No, that was the one.
Habitual.
Yeah,
Which
that
has I don't know.
That's an okay album, too.
Yeah, no, it was a good.
That's like the
period
one
in my life.
Yeah.
I think it's the one song I know of theirs. I think there's probably another one, but I think it's the one.
The whole album, Nothing Shocking, is a solid record.
Yeah.
It is.
I remember seeing them.
Jane Says.
Huh?
Jane Says. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing them live, and I couldn't even tell you what year it was, but I just remember at one point they all came together on stage and brought out and did like a drum circle.
Oh, wow.
Right? And it was like badass. Like, what in the heck's going on? It was cool.
Yeah.
But I don't remember much about that show.
Yeah, because I like them as a cool LA rock at the time, right? Because a lot of LA rock at the time was just kind of cocaine.
So, right. You know. Yeah. And they were alternative.
They were something different, yeah.
And one I would say, kind of one of the OG alternative bands,
I think
right?
so, yeah. And started their own tour, right?
Yeah.
And Lollapalooza was the Jane's Addiction joint.
Yeah. Oh, man. Don't freak some suckers out.
A guy just rode by on his bike wearing a Freddy Krueger mask.
Yeah, and then went the wrong way.
Down a one-way. Good luck. I'm haunting your dreams. Speaking of bands that don't get along, boys, Oasis, not a fan myself, but...
I like the one song.
The Wonderwall, or the...
Yeah.
Is that the song? Or that's at the album?
That might be
That's the song.
Okay. They're getting back together. Famously, the two brothers, Liam and something Gallagher, Noel, had a big argument. Famously, don't get along. Kind of like the Kinks brothers, kind of like Ray Davies and all that.
I mean, the one brother is like the over-the-top front man, and the other one's like the one who does everything else.
Yeah, the one guy writes the songs and does everything.
My God.
The one brother does. The other one just I don't know if he's the singer or the.
It would be like having David Lee Roth and Red Rocker
together in a band. Or Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth in a band together, right? But anyway, so they've decided to get back together because money's a good thing, and they're going to tour Europe, and their tickets went on sale, and they did that dynamic pricing thing.
I don't know what that is.
It's where there's higher demand, the prices go up.
Oh my God!
So of course people are like, fucking $800 a ticket or $600, $500 a ticket to go see Oasis. I really want to go because they were a huge band in that Brit pop couple of years.
Yeah,
right?
those guys pissed off a lot of people saying they were better than the Beatles.
Yes, very full of themselves.
I mean, to be fair, they are from the same hometown, so
yeah, I have no idea. But I do know that they've been like tweeting out like, "Why is everybody complaining? You know, this is how things work, and you know, fuck off if you don't want to come to the show if you can't afford it or whatever." And then Gene Simmons, we talked about Kiss a little bit ago, got into the thing too and said it's basically supply and demand. It's capitalism, people. If you can't afford to go, don't go. And you're entitled to fuck the ride off if you don't like it, right?
Yeah. No, and Gene, anytime anybody ever mentions the word money, he wants $1.
He starts drooling.
Dude,
like Pavlov's dog.
He invented money. It didn't exist before Gene.
His brand logo is a bag of money. I am not kidding.
And I mean, Dynamic, this is the only place. This is for, wait until it's for hospitals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is a reintroduction of such a thing. This isn't the end of it. And this is for something you don't have to do.
Right.
But how about, they do dynamic pricing on HOV lanes, toll lanes and shit, right?
The busier it is.
Yeah, no, fuck.
Yeah.
It should be sliding scale, the opposite,
It's like
bro.
dynamic pricing on toilet paper during the pandemic, right? It's going up because it's $900
because
a
we
roll.
don't think that profiteering is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we do. We just don't talk about it.
Well, it's like all those guys that went and bought all the Lysol cans and shit right when the pandemic kick-started. And then they were on eBay selling, $50 cans of Lysol.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's the
supply and demand.
They were also selling like the hand sanitizer too.
Yes, yeah. Supply and demand. Yeah. But then there was a bunch of companies like there's a hair gel company that I like a lot. It's called Suavecito, and they're based out of L.A. And they changed all their mechanisms down there to just produce hand sanitizer, and they were selling it at a reasonable price. Right. They're like, hey, we can hold off on the hair gel for a while, and we'll bottle up hand sanitizer and mail it out to you. It's really easy to make, folks. Just go get some 90 isopropyl, 90% isopropyl alcohol and get some aloe vera gel, and you mix it together and you got hand sanitizer.
That's it?
That's all it is. Yeah. So Oasis, I don't know. Anybody dying to go see Oasis? What was the other, like Blur, and what was the one that...
I don't know. And nobody cares how I feel about it, but I still want to know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like reunion tours in general. It's like, I get it because people want to see them one last time and reminisce. And I get it.
And
relive that moment.
Yeah.
Reunion tours are basically a cash grab for the band.
Sure.
There's just so much really good new bands, right? So many new bands now, right this very second. It's like, and that's how you discover the next whoever that might be. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like they're out there right now, and they're not $500.
Right.
And parking
$20
and all
at the door,
that, you know
$25 at the door. Yeah, geez. And then final music news. I don't know if this affects anybody in the room, but REO Speedwagon is no longer going to tour after 2024.
They have one song that I really, really like.
Which one is that?
I can't remember that.
I can't fight this feeling any longer.
They have 3 guitar players.
Yeah.
But it's keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. So dramatic.
Yes.
The whole song is just and then each guitar player has like an extensive solo. They just keep layering it on and on. It's like, it's a good song.
Apparently, I think it's the bassist. His name is Bruce Hall. Had back surgery, and he's not going to be able to perform for a while. And so the other main guy that's been in there for like 50 years. It's kind of like a Mick Mars situation when Mick kind of had to step back and say, hey, I don't know that I can tour anymore, but any new music that we want to produce, I want to be in the band, I want to be a part of it. I'm a 25% stakeholder in this, but they ended up firing him. It sounds like they just can't agree on what how to move forward. Yeah, Kevin. Oh, I had his name on here.
Yeah.
Kevin.
No, they're in their 70s, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, if you were just doing casino to casino, let's say, right, so you knew you had a place to stay and a decent meal, right? And whatever they're paying you in a nice bus, that's not terrible, right? I mean, a huge tour like Maiden used to, Maiden would tour for over a year at a time.
Yes. And hit the road on a bus.
Oh my God! Homies that you've known.
Yes. Iron Maiden doesn't use a bus; they have a plane.
Well, now they do, but when they first in the early '80s,
they went through the Soviet Union for a year.
on a Soviet
Well, they
bus.
could have been arrested at any moment, at
For
any
anything,
time.
any wrong move. Yeah.
Till my dying breath.
I remember seeing an interview with the singer saying, I got my license to fly jumbo jets so we could just go to the airport, load up, and then leave.
Then
Yeah,
go.
with your own crew.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And a 747's a workhorse. That's one of the.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they put the president on.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
It's
true.
an amazing aircraft. Yeah. Bruce Dickinson is an overachiever.
Yes.
He is,
Yeah.
he's
He really is.
It's too much. He can do everything.
Yeah. Isn't he like ballet? He does a lot of ballet dancing and
knows?
stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, of course
You
he
know.
does. Yeah. I just, Danny's, the wife's brother, my brother-in-law was up, and somehow we were talking like REO Speed. He turned on like the station, and it was like, play REO Speedwagon station. It wasn't them, but it was like, it wasn't April Wine or anything. I said, man, this is kind of your
April
jam,
Wine.
isn't it? Because he's like about 5 years, he's like 4 years older than us. And I'm like, is this kind of your jam? He's like, yeah. I'm like Triumph? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like Cheap Trick, like naming off all the bands, right? And he's like, yeah, this is my jam. But that's like kind of that. What do you call it?
So
It's
just
not hard
after,
rock.
like-
It's just. It's not. Is it soft rock? Triumph isn't soft rock.
No, Triumph is, but they're
Cheap Trick wasn't soft.
No, I wouldn't say them either.
No,
and I'm a Cheap Trick fan.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
So-
They're smarter than the average
Those
fan.
guys, I always kind of pick.
Yeah, that's good old rock and roll,
Sticks.
right? Sticks.
I thought of them as
They're classic rock now, bro.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I thought they were kind of like a punk-ish. They had like the punk aesthetic to them, but
That
they
garage band.
yeah,
kind of
but,
thing.
but no, just the way they dress and the way their
Oh yeah,
performances.
kind of that new wave, that post-punk
They-
kind of
they
thing,
picked a style.
like the
It's cool.
Cars,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, that's also punk. It's just not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just not like
That's the wave. That's the second wave or the new wave,
it.
post-punk kind of stuff. Yeah, Talking Heads, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, boys! Some celebrity deaths this week. Rest in peace, Chad McQueen dies at 63. Chad is the son of Steve
Steve McQueen. I
McQueen.
know it. Oh.
He was also Dutch in Karate Kid. He was one of the bad. He was one of Johnny's minions.
Oh.
He was the guy that was like the big kind of jacked up, the blonde dude. I don't know if you remember him, but that's probably his most famous movie role. He was in a few other movies.
What movie?
Karate Kid, the first one. He was Dutch. He was one of the blonde Johnny
skeleton.
dudes who was dressed up as. But he was the guy. I don't know if he was the one that was yelling "sweep the leg" or whatever, but.
That guy died of cancer a couple years ago.
No, did he? Yeah. So this guy, he didn't. He did not show up in Cobra Kai, and they
Not yet.
explained him. Well, he's dead. So maybe in
Well,
the flashback.
the guy who was sweep the leg, that guy, he was in like season 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
And he was in there, and his character was also dying of cancer. So they wrote that into
One
Okay.
last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Chad did not make the show, and they explained that he was arrested for something and was in jail, serving time for something. But he was a prolific, like his dad was into racing cars and motorcycles and stuff, and Chad was too. He was racing cars, got into an accident at one point, so he wasn't able to continue his driving career, but he like sponsored a race car team and all kinds of stuff, but 63 years old. But yeah, Steve McQueen's, who I think is one of the coolest actors
Oh, yeah. One of the
ever.
coolest
but
Americans.
yeah. Also, rest in peace, one of the Jackson 5, Tito,
Tito.
passed away at 70. He's a Hall of Fame, Music
that
Hall of
seems
Fame.
young, man.
Yeah, I don't remember. Was he the guitar player for them?
Yeah, I think he was. He was the bass player, I think.
The bass player? Yeah, I mean, he did a few albums on his own after Jackson 5 broke up.
He was
Never.
the older brother, right?
I don't know. Randy, I think, was the oldest, wasn't
Maybe
he?
that's what I'm thinking of. 'Cause I think whoever the oldest
Yeah.
brother was, he was the one who was on the bass guitar.
Okay. Yeah, Tito, man. But 70, no, I did not hear any kind of cause of death stuff.
He's old, so that's
70.
70 battle.
Yeah. Not, it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, I think now my dad passed away at 64. 4.
Yeah, my mom.
I'm like fucking 10 years away.
Oh man!
From the age, but we're not blood related biologically, so I'm not that worried about it. But at the same time, it's
I think we just are healthier people, right? We just eat better.
I would think so.
The nutrition. I mean, it would be hard not to be.
Yeah.
We have so much. We're food spoiled in this world.
Yeah. Geez, and rest in peace, J.D. Southern, 78. This guy, Hall of Fame songwriter, new kid in town. He wrote a bunch of the Eagles hits, co-wrote Don Henley's hit. Which one was his? Don Henley, The Heart of the Matter. It's the heart of the matter.
Yeah, that's a good song.
He wrote that with Mike Campbell, who was the guitarist for Tom Petty, and the guy himself, Don Henley. The three of them wrote that song together. He wrote Heartache Tonight. He wrote Faithless Love for Linda Ronstadt. He was also an actor. He was on 30-something. He was on Nashville. He was in the movie Postcards from the Edge and the movie My Girl 2. And then he also had his own top 10 hit in 1979 with You're Only Lonely. And I was like, I don't know that song. So I played it when I was writing this up, and I did recognize it. But it's not like in like heavy rotation anywhere. It's kind of a country soft rock kind of a thing. But geez, I mean, had a huge career. Went on tour, played with James Taylor. I think they toured together a little bit and did all. I mean, just a pretty fantastic life. But
how old was that guy? Do you know?
78.
Jeez.
78, yeah.
Man. Right on.
And I'm not a big Eagles fan. I mean, I tolerate them if they come on the radio in the background.
It's overplayed.
Yeah.
I actively like them. I don't turn them off when they come on. But, I mean, they get a lot of airplay. I mean, they're right up there with Nirvana as far as bands that get played a lot. You know?
The largest selling record of all time is the Eagles' greatest hits.
Yeah.
Surpassed Thriller.
I got to go see them on their Hell Freezes Over tour when they were the reunion tour, and I was.
Was Fry still alive?
Yeah, everybody was still alive at that point, and because it was like early to mid '90s when they did that, and at the show it was at the Rose Bowl at the Rose Garden down in Portland, and. I remember sitting there listening to all the songs. I was like, "Oh my God, they did this song too!" And my sister's like, "No, that's that guy's solo stuff." And she says they all work together. After they split up, they would work on each other's albums.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
before
they could stand each other
in the same apartment building.
Yeah, they were the backing band for Linda Ronstadt for a while.
I think they were all friends.
Yeah,
it's not because they were studio guys.
Yeah, but they were in that. There was a community in L.A. which included like Loggins and Messina and the guys from the Eagles and Linda Ronstadt and
the car along here.
But there was that community, and this guy, J.D. Southern, all these guys writing songs and picking and doing the thing.
And that was the Bay, or that was L.A.?
L.A., I think, yeah.
So,
for sure.
In the early 2000s, I think when American Idol first came around, and that guy William Hung was on there, after he took off. He became super famous because he was a terrible singer. He put out an album of cover songs, and
awesome.
I found his version of Hotel California, and I had a friend of mine who absolutely hated Hotel California. He would get almost violent when he would come on the radio. He was like, "Fucking turn it off," you know, kind of thing. And so I found that William Hung version of it, and I took the audio from that and put it to the actual music video for Hotel California.
Nice.
And sent it to him. He's like, "You're a dick."
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, if you're gonna hate the song, you have a reason to hate the song. Yeah. This version of the song was terrible.
Yeah, man. When I was taking ukulele lessons from local legend Corey Wilds,
guitar.
Yes.
Oh my God! From one of the best guitarists in the tri-state
tri-state area. Yeah. Really cool guy. But we were doing like classic rock songs on the ukulele, and he was like, well, I was trying to figure out another song, and I couldn't figure anything. He's like, well, try this one, and he starts getting into the Hotel California, the opening of it, and like, and I'm like, he's like, no, it's a good one to learn, for technique and stuff. I'm like, all right. So
and is that Glenn? Who is playing that?
I don't know who that is.
I think on the guitar, I think that was Joe.
Oh, Walsh?
Maybe.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Joe Walsh, my favorite Eagles song is In the City.
Same, dude. Oh my God,
it's such a good. And he released it as on his solo album, and then the Eagles were like, no, we want to put that on our album too, and they put it on.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now Joe Walsh, he's my favorite Eagle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was the one. I was like, oh my God, they did that, and he's like, no, that's his solo stuff.
Yeah.
That was Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
I was like, at that point, I realized I really like Joe Walsh because all his music.
What's his big hit that's way overplayed but is still funny?
Rocky Mountain or
No.
Rocky Mountain.
Maserati does
185.
Yeah, I used to be.
I lost my license and now I don't drive.
I actually saw a video recently on TikTok. There's the actor from the show Jag, who was also on
The main guy?
No, he was like one of the side characters, I think.
Okay.
But he was also on Little House on the Prairie. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I do know who you're talking about. Yeah.
So that guy, he says there was during a time where I wasn't on TV and I wasn't getting steady work with acting. I was doing delivery stuff, and I delivered to this house, and this woman comes out and she's wearing a giant bathrobe, like, and was paying her, and she's like, "You look familiar. I know you. Were you on TV?" And she's like, "Yeah, I used to be on Little House on the Prairie." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, Garvey.
Yeah, I think this character name. It's Patrick something.
Oh, he was the son of somebody.
He was the son.
But his brother was also on the show.
His brother was the son of. His brother played the brother of the main girl character on
Played Albert.
Played Albert. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those two were like
Albert.
Yeah.
and they're both like adopted too, so neither one of them were actually blood related. But either way, so he's making this delivery, and this gorgeous woman is like, "Okay, my boyfriend will pay you." And he's like, "Hey, come here. This guy used to be on Little House on the Prairie." He goes, "Yeah, it's okay. I used to be in the Eagles," and it was Joe. It was Joe Walsh.
Oh man, that's nice. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah.
I used to be in the Eagles.
Oh shit. All right. Well, boys, sharing is a Karen. What do you guys get up to this week on shows, podcasts, movies?
I actually hosted the Whose Turn Is It Anyhow last Tuesday.
Nice.
And I came up with all the games we were going to play and got all the prompts for the different things.
Do you get to give out the points and everything? I
mean, I would have if I thought about doing that, but yeah.
Do you guys do that?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Rarely ever think, hey, points. But yeah, I was so nerve-wracking. I was like stammering quite a bit.
You feel good about it though?
I mean,
oh, is that a Chevelle?
I mean, that it's either a Nova or a Chevelle.
It's a Chevelle.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
We're working on doing more streaming of the shows because a lot of people want to come in, but the world fills up really quick. So they can only hold like 32 tops.
Oh, so you guys are at capacity and then some. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I suggested, hey, maybe we should start doing live streams. That way more people, if it can't get into the world, at least they can watch. Yeah. Or at the very least, they can watch the archived videos of the shows on social media. And so I was the one who started doing live streaming on Twitch. Problem we had though is the royalty-free music that is in the
it doesn't translate to Twitch.
It was okay to use on Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, no problem, but could not play it on Twitch. So in the opening, when you reset the world or when you first go into the world, this kind of jazzy, Christmas song plays. Ba, 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 da, da, da. It gets stuck in your head too, by the way. And like I got like 3 notifications of like copyright.
Oh man!
I was like, we can't have that song playing if we're going to live stream. And the owner of the world's like, yeah, fuck those guys. I'm like, you don't want to have live streaming? Okay, I guess we're not doing Twitch. And he goes, well, we can do it. They're like, no, we really can't.
Because they'll just blank like YouTube. They'll blank out.
They'll mute the video so you can't hear anything
until it's done,
or delete it, or they'll delete the video too. Is the other thing. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do Twitch anymore because that was stressful. And so we've been trying to get the numbers up on Facebook. You need a minimum of 100 followers on Facebook to go live. So I've been trying to get people to go over and follow the YouTube.
Send us a link. And
it's just go to whoseturnisitanyhow.com and click on the Facebook page.
How far away are you? Just need a few more? Or?
We're at like 60 something right now.
Okay. Yeah.
66 follows, but like 32 likes. I don't know which one matters.
Yeah, it's really weird because like just means that you
like the page,
and you won't get any notifications. But if you follow it, then you'll get all the notifications.
Yeah. So
it's better to have followers.
We get more followers when we have likes, which is, I think, good. But if you go to whoseturnisitanyhow.com and you can click on the Facebook page link, and that will take you to where you can like and follow.
Dust bunny.
And then next Tuesday on Whose Turn Is It Anyhow is going to be Ladies' Night. So the cast and everything is going to be all the ladies.
Tonight is Ladies' Night. I always think of Lovitz.
Oh yeah,
from Wedding Singer.
Oh yeah. Wedding Singer and Little Nicky, because he's.
Does he do it?
It's the same
character.
Same character. He goes to hell in Little Nicky. But yeah, go check it out. I mean, if you like improv comedy, if you like Whose Line Is It Anyway, it's essentially that, but it's on virtual reality.
Nice.
And
if you don't have virtual reality, then
you can still watch. I mean, you can actually.
You just can't join in.
On the Facebook page, there is an event, and it has a link. You click that link, it will open up in your browser, and you can watch it from your browser. If it's not streaming live, you can still get into the world through the browser. And
do you need the goggles plus the headphones plus a microphone, or does is it all built in?
It's all one thing.
Okay, so you don't need a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, you don't need extra shit. It's just if you have an Oculus, which the Oculus 2 right now is about $200. They're way cheaper than they used to be. When I bought mine, it was like $350.
But then what's that plug into?
It doesn't. I mean, you can plug it in.
Oh no, you don't need a TV.
You can plug it into your computer if you want to. You don't have to. It's all.
Is it just Wi-Fi?
It's all self-contained.
It just has a Wi-Fi connection. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. No console, no nothing.
No console, nothing. You can plug it direct. Yeah, it's
so that's why you could pair it to your phone, like use your phone as a hotspot.
You can use your hotspot. I mean, I did that. You can also cast from your device to your phone, if you have like a Chromecast or like a Roku, you can cast it to your TV as well, so people in the house can watch you play whatever game you're playing. But it's been a lot of fun. And I told these guys last week after the fact because I totally forgot, but I'll tell you guys, we got a cameo from Colin Mockery. And I actually found out...
that's right, you showed that to us.
I found out yesterday that he actually didn't end up paying for it because the way Cameo works, and you know this,
we had a super...
If they don't get to it in a certain amount of time, you basically get refunded.
Oh.
And so Colin didn't respond in, I think it's 7 days.
But he still did it.
7 days. So Colin reached out to the guy who requested the cameo, which his name is Brandon. And he said, "Hey, I'm sorry I missed the deadline. I still want to talk to you and find out what's going on, and if I can still do it, And so I guess they talked for 10 minutes, and Brandon was asking him industry questions about improv. He's like, "You really do want to know this?" "Oh, absolutely. We love improv. We all do this every week, twice a week even." And he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'll absolutely do a cameo." And actually, I can share the video with Facebook if you guys want to check it out. Go to our Facebook But yeah, he jokes about how the name of our group is similar to Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Nice.
And the logo is even similar. It's basically the same logo with different words. He goes, yeah, our lawyers will find, I'll reach out. No, he goes, no, really, you're okay. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Do you know how much he would have charged for?
I think when I looked, it was $150 plus.
Oh, that's not bad.
So
is that for the business where you can use it on your...
Starting with $150 and it goes from there depending on what it's
how long you want to use it and all that stuff.
And plus, that was a long clip, right?
It was
a
a good
clip.
3 or 4 minutes. Yeah. And he did a hoedown too, which was great. The hoedown is where they.
We should look again. We should try to find another. Guys, go to Cameo, find something under $50.
Oh man!
And let's figure out another one. Maybe under $30.
Oh man! The Cartman kid was cute though.
No, he was the worst Cartman impersonator.
I could do a better Cartman impression.
He had the hat.
He did.
He had the hat.
Dude, you know what?
And the gumption.
Give me a red shirt in that hat, and I'll fucking do it.
Well, man, what about you, Mike? Anything new happening? Any podcasts?
Well, two great podcasts, which are also on radio. They're part of the PRX.
Or NPR.
Public radio. But Snap Judgment, which is incredible. And then the Halloweeny version called Spooked.
Yeah.
And so there are people telling their stories of like spooky shit that's happening.
Yeah, kind of like the coastal paranormal gals that we had.
We need to get them back on the show.
I forgot about
that. Yeah, it'd be
fun.
fun.
But it's excellent radio. Actually, and Glenn Washington's the host, and he is excellent radio. Oh, that guy is good. Snap Judgment is, it's a top-notch program.
Okay.
It really is.
All right. Is it from a while ago? Is it being produced now?
I think it's still Spooked, I think it's 4 seasons.
Okay.
Half-hour
episode kind of thing.
6 or 7. Yeah, give or take.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
1 or 2 typically stories by their storyteller.
Yeah.
And they're not fiction, right? So they're people's experiences,
right?
Whatever that is.
Do the people that experienced it come on, or do they have professional voiceovers
No,
that
it's
just
the people themselves?
It's them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that Snap Judgment is more, a little more journalistic than that.
Okay.
Right? But Snap Judgment is also excellent. But it's not. This almost we're getting Halloween almost.
Yeah,
some people leave fall down.
I know. I switch gears now. The Gong Show's over. I got to start on Halloween.
Spooky.
Yeah. Build a bunch of.
Speaking of voiceovers and stuff, when does the first episode of our radio play drop?
Well, the thought and the goal was to get like 6 episodes, or there's one of Todd's favorite vehicles right behind us.
It's the
Cybertruck right there.
Oh my God! I heard about the DePlorean.
I saw that.
DePlorean
Fucking fell out of my chair.
Cybertruck.
That's fucking funny.
So Todd, to answer your question, we want to get like a few episodes so we can stay ahead of it, because it's taking a long time to produce them, and I apologize. It's just the time that I have to spend.
I figured we would, see about an update.
Yeah.
No rush. I'm not trying to rush you or anything. 2
episodes are, as the industry says, are in the can, ready to go. Third one is probably about 25% done. I need to get other voices. That's another challenge, is getting the other voices in.
Well, and we can still try playing with the CapCut.
We could still do some of that
text
stuff.
to voice.
Yeah.
And they don't sound terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you have
to all go Mel Blanc. Each one of us will have like 40 voices.
The problem is because when you're intimate setting like that, you can tell it's me doing a voice, or you can tell it's Todd doing 2 or 3 different voices, right? So we want to produce like the best thing ever.
So what I would suggest doing is grabbing CapCut on your phone or your tablet or whatever.
Yeah.
And play with the voice.
Play with it a little bit.
Play with the voices a little bit and see if.
I do have 2 people that I just need to get them in to record for the episode that you guys already recorded. So we just need to work on getting them in. I'll try to get one of them at least this weekend, so we get that 3rd episode done. I don't know. What do we want to do for our first season? 6, 8?
You know,
you're the guy writing it.
I think 6 episodes is decent for. Like,
yeah. So if we can get 4 in the can and really, because I don't know, and then that's the other thing is, do we want to release them weekly, bi-weekly? Not bi-weekly, but bi-monthly? Do we want to do one every 3 weeks? I don't want to space them out too far, but I do. But if we put them too tight together, then it doesn't give us time, because we don't have the time. Yeah. I don't have the time to do one a week.
I'm going to buy a couple of 100,000 lottery tickets now.
Well, that's a good idea.
Ship's coming in, boys.
I mean,
if you can make that happen. Yeah, if I could quit the 9 to 5, I would just do nothing but.
They will buy Abbey Road Studio.
Have you seen the documentary 6 Days to Air?
That sounds familiar.
It's South Park. They did a documentary about how they would turn out an episode of South Park within 6 days.
And that's the way they can be so topical.
Yeah. And you keep in mind, this is not just.
But that is their job.
It's not 3 guys doing this. It's
a team.
It's an entire team. You got one group of people doing all the animation. You have the 2 big guys doing like half of the voices. And then you have
Dragon Ball Z was weekly.
Yeah.
And
that's a fucking huge body of work.
And Bill Hader was a writer for them during.
No, was he really?
Yeah. Huh. They talked to, in fact, in that documentary is the one they talked about the centipede, human centipede episode was one of the ones they were making while they were recording that documentary.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I was like, should I eat the cuttlefish?
When humans finally fucking jumped the shark. was that it for us? That was the beginning of the end.
Yeah. And I do want. I got to get back in touch with him. But Greg, I mentioned doing some art for us, and I need to bug him about that and see if he is really into it. Because there's also a couple of T-shirt designs I'd like him to look at. The ones I showed, the screeching tire, and I forget what the other one was, but so that would be kind of cool to have that art.
Maybe we can get him to do an R-Town version of this.
Oh yeah, maybe.
And then we'll sue him. we'll hand him a cease and desist.
Hey, we paid for that, pal.
Yeah. We're $15 in, bro.
We're not going to sue him. Are you kidding me?
No, he's one of the sweetest guys ever.
Oh my God, yes, just a sweetheart.
He's such a nice guy.
He goes home and yells and it's gold.
I actually felt bad making this T-shirt. He's like, I'm sorry, I bootlegged your shirt. He was like,
I didn't know you did that.
I made this myself. Yeah, and he goes, no, it's okay. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, I kind of felt bad. And
he's gonna put a gypsy curse.
I was like, the only reason why I did it is because you didn't have my size on their website. And he goes, what's your size? I was like 4X. He's like, oh, yeah, we're out of those right now.
Yeah. I don't know how much he does with that. And I think he's got a 9 to 5 too.
I don't know.
But
guy.
Yeah. Geez,
somebody's got to escape.
Mike, you'd like this. I jumped back into my Hardcore History podcast, Dan Carlin, because I've been doing a lot of time on the road. He just had an episode that came out in July. It's his episode 30 from his Hardcore History Addendum series, which are shorter versions, like an hour and 40 minutes. But it's called You Say You Want a Revolution, and he really looks at what happened in the late 60s and compares it to what's happening today, like LBJ stepping out of the nomination process just before the Democratic National Convention and stuff. And so he was able to sort of put all these parallels to what was going on in the late 60s to what's happening today in our political stratosphere, right? So check it out. It's pretty damn interesting, and the way he draws all these connections with the assassination, because this happened, he recorded this like a week after the first Trump assassination.
July.
So he's talking about RFK's assassination, Malcolm X in 65, Martin Luther King right after.
It's a shitty tactic, people.
Yeah,
it really is.
So it's pretty cool. And then kind of to couple this, I finally watched Civil War, with Kirsten Dunst and all that.
Yeah.
And I actually liked it. One of my dream
Alex
jobs.
Garland film.
Yes, one of my dream jobs when I was young and a whippersnapper before I had kid was to be a photojournalist, to go to these places and do all that stuff. And watching them on the screen and running around with their cameras, and one of them's got a Leica camera and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck, I'm jealous as hell. That, But it was kind of cool. Have you seen it?
No.
They do, as they're taking photos, they'll show the person like with the camera, and then they'll take the picture and they'll show what the image would look like.
All right.
And the coolness that they were getting from it. And I was like, oh man, this is fucking awesome. So I would give it a solid B as far as a movie.
Think it's on Max.
It's on Max. That's why I watched it, because it was free.
Yeah, so is the Kevin Costner film.
Which one? The Horizon.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
For free?
For free, watch it.
Okay.
For free, watch it. I went to the theaters, and it was me and Kyle and Amelia and one other couple in the theater. I'm like, and it was in the small theater. Right, it was in let's put it over in number 8. Kind of as
only 5 people there.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, geez. But yeah, I mean, check it out, Todd. I think you watched Civil War, right?
I started watching it, but then ADHD kind of took over. I was watching, but I really wasn't watching it.
Yeah, it's an interesting look because they start out in New York City, which is going through turmoil because there's water rationing and all this other stuff. So they're trying to capture that. And then they have a mission for themselves to go down to D.C. and interview the president, who is an authoritarian president, which is why the Civil War got created, and he's on his 3rd term. Like, he's not backing down. So he's got part of the army, he's got his Secret Service, he's got those guys fighting for him, but then California and Texas said, fuck this, we're not taking that, and they secede, and they're like fight. That's the Civil War. And then Florida is like, it's parts of the South are their own secessionist thing too. So it's interesting.
Sovereign citizens.
They don't jump deep into the politics of it. Nick Offerman, or no, who's the president in the movie?
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman plays the president. He's a very short role, very small role, but it's interesting. So they're
Garland makes decent films.
Yeah,
right?
I need to rewatch it really, because I like I said, it got into some topics that are just like, okay.
Yeah. They're cruising across the countryside, and they're running into different people.
Sure.
So,
Different
factions.
You run into some, like, good old boys.
Yeah. Jesse Plemons, Kirsten Dunst's husband, not to give anything away, but he's, like, plays this super racist militia guy. And he's like giving them shit because they're traveling with a guy from, that has a Hispanic accent, and they've got 2 reporters from like Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And so they're like, what kind of Americans are you? Right?
Yeah.
And plays on that whole racist bullshit, right?
Those are white people.
Yeah, exactly. Where are you from? Colorado. See, that's United States. Where are you from? Missouri. Oh, that's United States. Where are you from? Florida. Oh, you mean Central America. Right, and that kind of shit. So it's gross.
That's part of the reason why I kind of checked out. Because of that.
But it's decently acted.
I don't know, Jesse.
Storyline's not that great, but Jesse Plemons was in.
He was in that one episode of Black Mirror where he was like a fanboy of Star Trek.
Yeah,
he had a.
I didn't want. Black Mirror.
He
was
was
too much for me.
He was in the Oklahoma movie with with let me rephrase it, because he was in that, but he was in what's the Better Call Saul, but the other one, Breaking Bad. In the later seasons, he was the guy that they brought in.
Jeez, I don't know that guy.
Oh, you've seen him in 100 things.
That's Kirsten Dunst, old man.
Yes,
he's the one that people. And the first time I heard of this guy was people were calling him Meth Damon.
Because he's like the cheap version of...
He looks like he's a Temu version of Matt Damon.
Poor Jesse Plemons.
So bad.
Yeah, geez, I don't know that guy. And I didn't watch Breaking Bad.
You've probably seen... Oh, you haven't? Okay.
I didn't watch it either.
But you've probably seen a bunch of movies and stuff that he's been a part of.
I did watch that episode of Black Mirror, though.
I hope he's very thankful.
Yeah. He's a good actor.
He's a great actor. I've seen him in a few things since I was introduced to him as Matt Damon.
I kind of feel like he's the new Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Kind of that not good looking but superb acting.
Yeah.
The Borgnine test.
The Borgnine test.
I rest my case.
Although I don't know, Borgnine was decent actor, but I don't know.
He's a very capable actor.
Yeah.
Everything I've ever seen him in, he was absolutely great in.
Yeah, what's the one where he's carrying a ball-peen hammer? He's like the hammer boss on a train.
Oh.
And so he's out bonking hobos. He's a hobo slayer. It's a cool movie.
Yeah.
Look that up.
I think
terrifying.
I think the last thing I saw him in was Basketball.
Borgnine?
Yeah. Ernie Borgnine was in Basketball. And he was
way to end your career on a high note.
Seriously though, he's like the guy who takes these guys like street game to like a national level, makes it a league. And there's a scene where he's like, it's such a goofy movie. I love it though. He's there with his sidekick who is Jenny McCarthy, and he's choking on a hot dog from the vendors, and he's like, and Trey Parker comes up, he's like, he's choking. He's like, yeah, I know they stopped selling those after the third inning. I'm so sorry.
Oh man, jeez! I feel like Borgnine could crush an apple in his just big sausage fingers, right?
Yeah.
But I still think my favorite was him in Airwolf. Airwolf, and then there was also that show back in the '60s. I think he was like the captain of a PT boat.
Oh no, he was. Yeah, and it wasn't the comedy one.
Captain, no.
Yeah, no, it was
it McHale's Navy?
It was McHale's Navy. Yeah.
Was he in that?
Yeah.
No, that's Oh no.
No, wait. Hold
you
on.
might be right. I do remember him being in a
something like that.
Something like that. But I don't know.
Maybe it was the movie version I'm thinking of.
Maybe. Geez, he was in like 12 Angry Men and stuff too, wasn't he? Like the original version with Peter Fonda or Henry Fonda. Man, Ernest Borgnine. It was really nice because just coincidentally, our accounting firm is Ernest and Borgnine, which I get one laugh every time I do that.
It's still worth throwing out there.
Yeah. And I totally forgot to do my joke. I was going to say it was just public service announcement, folks. Do not take the brown acid.
He was in McHale's Navy.
Oh, geez.
Series.
All right, man.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, good on you.
And Phil Silvers.
Phil Silvers just nuts.
It's just Slayer.
Yeah. Jeez. All right, boys, ending this on something positive. This is a quote from Walt Whitman, which I really like. Keep your face always towards the sunshine, and the shadows will fall behind you.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's nice. Folks, we're going to be back with our top 5. So if you're a member either on the website or on the Patreons, then you'll get to see it. The thing I came up with this week, boys, was movies filmed in Seattle area or Washington State. But then I kind of was like, well, maybe we could do films that are set in Seattle, maybe not filmed there, because it might have been like First Blood takes place in Washington, but it was all filmed in Canada. So
it was filmed up in North Bend, too.
I think most of it was filmed in Canada.
They did film some scenes in North Bend?
No, So, movies in Seattle area or Washington.
I mean, I actually put movies that were actually filmed here.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
I didn't put that one on my list.
Addendum to last week's, because those of you who don't have
the member
premium content, which you should. Why wouldn't you?
Go sign up right
now.
But
it was Kathy Bates movies. But the one I really like is the Tommy Lee Kathy Bates sex tape. I forgot. So that was my real number 1.
Wow. Wait, did she play Tommy Lee's penis in the Hulu series?
Yeah, couldn't pay it.
Oh my God.
His penis was
Dude,
moving and talking. Yeah.
Seriously, I stopped watching at that point. I was like, this is fucking weird, man.
Yeah, jeez. All right, so come back, go sign up right now so you can see this. And other than that, we'll be back sometime next week.
Yeah, right on.
All right, bye.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, vlogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.